So this is a video for the victims, either whether you know you're a victim or you're a potential victim or you're doing your homework on Joseph Ash Isaac Lee Furber and his family and the employees of FX Analytics that are accomplices and in cahoots with this, as well as the employees or pretend employees of Fire Shield Fire Protection Inc. There is a Ponzi scheme going on in Texas, and we believe it's going to be somewhere over $50 million by the time we're done investigating it. Rumor has it, Ash Furber, he goes by Ash, has been traveling in and out of Dubai. The Dubai authorities have been notified, and they are on the watch for him. He believes that I filed a lawsuit against him. Nope, not at all. Not interested just yet, because the FBI and the Texas State Securities Board is far more interested in collecting the data, all the evidence, and doing all of the electronic tracking that is so easily done already through even WhatsApp servers, Cash App servers, Zoom call servers. Everything can be subpoenaed. Unfortunately, in this day and age, and having an amazing president in Donald J. Trump against terrorist groups, even terrorists in our own country, organized crime can be considered a terrorist group. And this is very organized. It is so streamlined. The website is beautifully done. He even has a building that he has invited investors to, or people that he's going to be their financial manager. And you know what kind of car he drives. It's a blue Tesla. He is married with a wife, and she and he are telling everybody that are their victims this empathetic story that she's with a child, she's about to deliver their third child. Not true. She's not even pregnant. They lie just to lie. So what they do is they tell you that they've got an algorithm, and that algorithm is the same one that the people in Congress have used to get so rich and wealthy. It's the same thing that big banks use in order to win on the stock market, hedge funds, everything. And so you're allowing him to access all of your finances, your retirement accounts, your banking. Then he goes further and gets you to give him your credit card numbers. He will talk you in. He is so convincing. He will talk you into going and getting personal loans, like to Credit Karma and stuff like that, where you can apply for loans, and he'll just tell you, keep applying. He'll even provide you a document that proves the kind of money that you've made with him that increases your overall annual income, so you qualify for more money and better terms. So he can get you to completely, over a period of months, expose yourself so far, and then he cleans you out. He's got people that do not even know it, victims of themselves, that he has continued to pay for a year, 2 years, and sends them, and what he's doing is he's sending his own money. There's no investment. He takes your money. Let's say he takes $200,000, and then for a year he's going to send you $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month. Oh, we had a great month, $4,000. He's sending you your own money. Or if he's blown it through all of his fabulous trips and Disney World trips and all those things, if he's blown it, he's getting another victim to contribute $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, and he's using their money to keep you on, because your goal is here for you to tell your friends. And he doesn't tell you to tell your friends. What he does is he gets you to be so happy with the fact that he has done what he said he's going to do, and he has come through on his promises, and now you want to help your friends out who are so in need. And they're usually somebody that is sick, or it has a sick child, or just someone that is in a bad way somehow. And it's usually health related or job related, or they've got just whatever it is. He can mirror your pain and suffering. And somehow your pain and suffering is relatable to whatever he is newly coming up with that's going on in his life. Because it's got a mirror. There's got to be a connection, something in common there. And so what he's going to do is he's going to get your faith and get you to believe, and then you volunteer to bring your friends to let him manage their money and their investments. Well, there's really, like I said, there's no investments. You actually pull out of your own investments and hand it to a common thief who thinks he is too smart to beat the government, to beat the FBI. But I'm telling you, if you're watching this, Futsum and Ash Furber and Joseph Robert Furber and Sarah Furber and Mary Ligon and Megan Furber and Justus Furber and all of the criminals involved in this organized crime ring, which we already know is part of the dark web. We know it's not just you. We know it's a deeper group. Your IT people, Jordan, we already know. And they've got everybody. I'm telling you, there's so much information that has been gathered and given to federal and state authorities that you're not going to be able to pick your nose without there being a picture of it somewhere. And so if you think that you can get out of the country, please do. Please tempt it. Please show your ID or a fake ID. Show it to TSA when you go through the airport. Show it to Greyhound. Show it at the nearest seaport when you're having to show a passport card or something to get on that boat. Please do it. Anybody related to Joseph Ash Isaac Lee Furber, or anybody that's friends with or has been put on the radar, please try and travel right now. It'd be wonderful. But I do understand that Mr. Furber has volunteered to people, multiple people, that he has a safe house, a bunker for him and his family to hide in. Well, that sounds kind of appropriate because vermins and snakes live underground. So it's just perfect that you've got an in-earth type of bunker to protect you, because the nuclear war that is coming for you is on schedule. It's on task. You will be apprehended. You can hide all you want, but it's very hard to live in a country where money, cash currency is accepted everywhere. Plus, there's this interesting thing about cash currency. Cash currency has numbers. It is traceable where it is spent. I know you don't think that, you know everything, but I think it's great because you can't build a Tomahawk missile, Ash Furber, but guess what? The U.S. government can. And they have access to the dark web as well as the everyday web that we all use. And our agents that are on this case and are the attorneys for the state that are on this case, they're going to see this. And they already know how passionate I am, because at this point, it's not about how badly you ripped me off. I'm a registered nurse in the state of Texas. I have been caring for the sick and the needy and the elderly for 30 years. And I thought I could make good judgment based on someone. But when you're dealing with these, I'm telling you, when you are dealing with these criminals that are so well practiced, and this is an organized crime ring, they know how to do everything from cloning bank websites to showing you bank statements that are not real, to showing you MetaTrade accounts and talking the talk and walking the walk. They are so skilled at it. And it's not because they just came up with a script. No, this script is old. There's another company called A Plus Energy out of California. It's another fake company. It's all a shell of a company. So when you start talking to people about using their skill set because they've made so much money, and they put you in touch with, they'll give you references. And some of these references are accomplices, and the other are just victims that don't know better, that think that they're helping you because they have been in receipt of getting their own money back, but think that it's a return. Think that it's money that's been earned by their money. It's not their money. It's not returns. It is either their money that's been saved to give back to them and make it look differently, or it's somebody else's money because they've already spent your money. So I will be, as well as many of the other victims, will be sounding our voices online. We're grateful that YouTube is a stand-up company and appreciates free speech, as well as, especially since truth speech. We're excited that we're going to have a platform that we do not have to be victimized without having some control of how we have to take it. We don't have to take it. We have a voice, and our goal, all of our goals is, number one, to get our money back, but number two, our 401k and everything we've worked our entire lives for. But number two is to save other people from getting exposed in this situation, taken advantage of, robbed, where they can't even buy food to take care of their own children. So I hope that you'll follow us. We are starting a website called Texas FX Fraud. That's TEXASFXFRAUD.com. It is just getting started in the development, so you'll see that. But in the meantime, if you are a victim, or you think you know of a victim, or you know the whereabouts of Ash Furber, or you happen to have really good IT skills where you can access the dark web and you can help to locate people, that would be amazing. If you want to do good, or you're a Christian person that has skills, we want to hear from you, okay? And you can contact us at the word contact at TexasFXFraud.com. Thank you guys for watching. Ash, I'll be seeing you soon, buddy. It will probably be when you're behind bars in orange, but I'm not too particular with how your attire looks. But I'm going to be in Texas for most of my days for the next 60 to 90 days. Great thing is that we have eyes on you. There are so many people that have flown from California, Arkansas, and have hired private investigator groups, and everybody's got eyes on you and everyone in your family. So we know, we don't know. We know that the information is going to get retrieved. We know we are helping the authorities with what they need to do to find your organization and put a stop to you and put you in jail, because $200,000 or more in theft like this in Texas is life to 99 years per charge. So if we're talking about $50 million here, man, you're never going to see the light of day. And if your accomplices are involved and your family's proven to be involved through phone calls, it's going to be, you get a sentence, you get a sentence, you get a sentence. Congratulations, everybody gets a sentence. And I'm going to tell you something else. The real estate that Ash Furber has contributed to by giving money to his family members, and then they've gone, including a grandmother and grandfather, and they've gone and purchased real estate, and they purchased real estate with that money. In Texas, that real estate can be seized, but it has been purchased with stolen money. Criminal activity does not mean you can steal people's money and buy real estate with it. And it doesn't matter whether you've laundered it by moving it here and then moving it there, and then that account is what pays so-and-so, and that so-and-so is the one that buys the property. As long as there's a connection of the dots somewhere, it can be proven that real estate purchases and everything else has been gathered and purchased with stolen money. Get ready. Bank accounts that we have hot checks throughout, just through the roof. We've got hot checks with people all over, and those are felonies. Those are immediate. Those are available for immediate warrants. And active warrants are the best warrants because they can keep them in jail in prison for a year or 2 years while they finish putting this entire Ponzi scheme together. And then, of course, it's the family's going to be, accomplices in this thing, and they can be charged as the evidence points to their activities with it, and including workers, employees that have lied for them on video. These employees and family members, how many people are going to give up their entire life to go to prison for somebody else who started this Ponzi scheme? People want to raise their kids. They don't want to spend their lives in prisons for somebody to protect somebody else anymore. Loyalty towards a criminal is so overrated. And even if you think that you can spend 20 years in and you'll come out rich, you won't. The money will be found. The money will be traced. Because it's very difficult to carry suitcases around full of cash and think that that's okay and that you can just put it in an offshore account or move it to another country. Trump has made relationships with countries all over this globe that support him. He's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize at some point, and their law enforcement loves our law enforcement. Why? Because we're not sending our criminals to their country, and they respect that. We are taking care of our own criminals. And Ash, you're not going to be a problem for another country because you're not going to see the outside of a U.S. prison. So I hope and I pray. If you guys think that I'm a woman that just lost money in an investment or something and I'm mad and I'm trying to get even, that's what they want you to think. I can't put the evidence out there on the internet, but I will tell you in the intelligent words of Sleepy Joe, Ash Furber. If you think that you can leave the country and take the money that you stole to another country and live a good life with all of your family, please do. If people think that you are a good bet and they want to invest their money with them, don't. This guy is smooth. He is well versed. And I'm going to put some other videos together that goes over the things that he says. I'll show text messages. I'll show all kinds of things as I'm allowed to by the authorities that show you his scripts and what he says and how he will relate to you. But he has not sold his company to a Singapore company. He has not sold it to somebody else. There is no company. There's an LLC. Okay? He's not showing his money to the government so he can pay taxes on massive amounts of stolen money. Okay? So there's no company. There's no sell. It is a leaked narrative that has been put out on different media outlets on the internet to look like real reporting, real articles of financial news that Singapore has bought this or this country's bought this. Read deeper into it. There's no details. There's never any specific details that you can call and prove. And if you get a phone number from someone that says call this to prove that this person's real, it's staged. It's not a real number. It's probably a Google number because he doesn't like to use real cell numbers because of the pinging, because they can find his almost exact location. So I pray that you will believe that we want, even though we don't know you, we've got no stake in you not losing your money. We are Christians. We want to see the right thing happen and these criminals stopped before they continue to hurt other people. There are other criminals. Matthew Beasley is the latest in Las Vegas, who had his crime spree just like this. Go look it up, and it'll tell about the story about how long he did it. In the early 20-teens, and in 2022, I believe, they cornered him. They found him in his 6,000 square foot lavish house after going on all of his lavish vacations and showing off. And they found him, and he hunkered down, and there was a gunfight, and he got shot. But that was in 2022, and I'm sure that he's done plenty of time since then while they put this case together. And they just charged him with, his sentence was 99 years. But somehow, and I'm sure he pleaded out and turned over with some of these underground criminal organizations. He probably rolled over on some of the people that he thought were going to be his allies. And so he turned around and got 20 years. You don't go from 99 to 20 years just because you're a good inmate or you worked in the kitchen at the prison. You do that because you turned over, you showed up, and you gave restitution. He stole over $500 million, and they traced it all. But only about half of those people got their money back. But do you realize how out of hand it was? And the other thing that happened that is to their advantage, the criminals' advantage, is that this is such an embarrassing crime. It's an embarrassing to be a victim of this, because nobody wants their family and friends to know that they thought they did their homework, that they thought that they recognized that the website was real and not fake, and that they really investigated with the banks. But because of the way his story is, when bank accounts are closed and moved, he blames it on the banks. The banks aren't used to my kind of money because I'm not recognized as a financial company. No, you're not. You're a thieving, criminal, liar company. And so the banks get suspect and they close his accounts. But unfortunately, the banks are all not talking to each other. And until the FBI and the state got involved, until this point, there was no indication with the banks that the man standing in front of them was going to rip them off. Speaking of getting ripped off, if you were a victim and you get a letter from a collection company or an attorney saying that there's an accounts receivables loan out with FX Analytics and Furber, it's been turned over to collections because he has ripped off the banks themselves. He has contacted the banks and used your credit card payments and the money that you've given him not as money that he has stolen, but as in money you have owed him and for his services. So he's using you as a service contract, and he puts them all together like in a portfolio, like any company would with a clientele list. And he's telling them that he's got monthly payments from you, and he's going and getting $100,000 or more business loans from these companies based on his accounts receivables, aka stolen money. And then they figure out when he stops making payments to these loans, and he goes and gets other loans within that 30-day period before the creditor has reported him. And I'm guessing he's got multiple social security numbers and multiple fake IDs to get to this point. And so it's just, it's genius, actually. It's just genius. And so if you get a letter about, don't throw it away. You can call them, but again, they are so sly. Who is to say that the person that you're calling on the other end of that line is not a staged person pretending to be part of this organized crime group, and they're pretending to be a lender that lost money with this organization? Then they start asking you personal information. Don't give it out. If they know you enough to send that to you, then they have your personal information already. Report everything to the FBI. Report everything to the state of Texas Securities Board. Report everything to your local law enforcement. Now, I do understand that California is not taking any of this seriously. They want to say, well, you made an investment, so we can't help you. No, there is no investment. There's been no evidence of investment. This is stolen money through means that looks like it's legal. It is not. If this was gambled money or investment money, there would be tracings of it. There would be the ability to track people's money going into products. There's no product being purchased. And if he starts doing it now, it's just him trying to cover his tracks. We all got letters recently saying that if we talk to anyone socially or on the media or if we get attorneys or we report anything, then he's going to exercise his right to not give you your money for up to 180 days. They're all delay tactics. The first thing is, it doesn't matter what you signed. The contract is not even as good as the paper it's written on, because he's not a real company. He's an LLC that doesn't file taxes, that steals money under the name of LLC, but the money's not put in his LLC. It's put in his stolen funds accounts, so he can move it from one bank to another bank and hope that the FBI in the state of Texas can't track it. But it's all connected, because these banks only exist because the government allows them to do business and track the accounts by the government. Thank goodness we're protected by our government. I know everybody dogs the government, but the corrupt government's one thing, but justice is another. And I believe in the U.S. Supreme Court. I believe in our local authorities when they are against the act of crime. I do understand that law enforcement can have their hands tied in states where criminals have more rights than the general public and victims. And I know that California is one of those states, and I feel sorry for that. I have a lot of new friends from California over the last 10 years that have fled California because of the Democratic corruption. I'm sorry. I think you should come to Texas. Texas is an amazing place to live. If you believe in justice and you want to fight crime and organized crime and criminals and people that take advantage of anybody, Texas is the place to live. We have open carry. We have so many laws that protect the general public and allow us to protect ourselves. And so, I just encourage you to check it out. I can't take everybody's call. I'm a working nurse. I'm a professional woman. And, I have to travel for work. And so, but we can send you information that's going to tell you where to get started, what forms to file, where to send your evidence of your documentation. Get copies of your phone records, your WhatsApp records. Get your phone logs. Show proof of these phone calls. Show proof of the WhatsApp contacts. Don't assume that when you're talking to someone on an app or an internet or communication app that it is Ash Furber. This is organized. And so the broken English, the dead giveaway, the things that sound too scripted, when you're talking about something and they don't even address what you're talking about, and they just beat around the bush and they say, we'll get back with you. You're going to get answers. You're going to get your money back on this day. It's all lies. It's all delay tactics to get you off of that chat, off of that phone call, all of it. And don't be scared because they threaten you with legal action. Criminals will use that. Even demons and Satan, they all lie. They all tell you things they want you to believe, and they're so convincing, they're so convicted, because they've been telling the same lies to everybody, to where they sound like the truth, but they lie. And you know what? If Ash Furber or his family wants to sue me, please sue me. Please find an attorney that wants to go down that rabbit hole with you and have their entire law office investigated by federal and state authorities. Nobody in their right mind wants to be put on that radar, especially as for Ash Furber. Expect that if you do get any legal documents, they may not be real. He may send you a fake letter from a law office that doesn't truly exist, or somebody pretending to be an attorney. Keep copies of everything on the cloud. Turn everything over to authorities. Okay? Eventually, he's going to run out of all of our money, and he's going to try to do this crime spree and continue it on the big dollar that he was using, but he's going to have pennies to work with. And that's going to limit his abilities. So, I advise you to just do your best. If you want to make videos of your story and your testimony and what's happened, go ahead and put it on the internet. Just make sure that the information you're providing is true and factual, because anything that's put on the internet is subject to being admissible in court. Okay? So that's why everything I'm telling you is true. truth. I have evidence of all of these things. I have been doing my own investigation from a distance because this has affected me. The crimes that they've committed, the way they've stolen the money, the fake texts, the fake emails, the fake everything. I'm telling you, it is worth your time. Don't be embarrassed. Don't go out there and say, I can't show my face. It doesn't matter. He's going to see you in court anyway if you decide to testify against him and any of his group. So but there are apps that you can hide your face, and there are apps that you can hide and disguise your voice if you're worried about that. I understand. You do what you need to do, and if you don't, if you just want to tell your story, you can have an actor portray you and say this is an actor portraying a real story by a victim. Just be honest with what you're doing, and believe me, we are going to get national attention. We are going to get the empathy of our just judicial leadership, because we are trying to do the right thing. We're trying to stop the crime in America. And this guy, I wouldn't be surprised if he was up there at $500 million along with Matthew Beasley, okay, along with Bernie Madoff. And the sooner we get everything we need on him, the better. If you want to help and you want to take up the staff and you want to be a part of finding truth and justice, please reach out. We are stronger together. Thank you, everybody.